Well, guys, a major multiverse character is back for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And I don't think it's that surprising. Maybe it is. I don't know, depending on if you looked at the discourse online. But yeah, this is getting a lot of backlash because of a cartoon that nobody watched.
Raise a hand if you watched Marvel's What If. Yep, that's what I thought. Guess what? I didn't even have enough of a willpower to completely finish it, and it was like a chore, man. Like, that first season was rough. It gets better, but my God, talk about a TV series that was pretty much pointless and literally offered little to nothing, and took the whole concept of what if and made it so sterile and boring and literally took almost no risks outside of a couple episodes that were like, okay, I didn't expect that it just left a lot to be desired. But one of the biggest sticking points from all of What If is that absolutely nobody, okay, I shouldn't say nobody, but it seems like that the major discourse online from people that watched it, that the biggest problem is Captain Carter. People were sick of Captain Carter being featured in so many episodes. They really got sick of her. They got annoyed of Haley Atwell because, one, she was woke Lara Croft on Netflix. Two, she was woke Captain Carter, or there was too much Captain Carter, or whatever the arguments were. Now, for full clarification, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Captain Carter. I love that character. Peggy Carter in general, I love that comic run that they did. Again, Captain Carter, I really like the character. What can I say? It's a Captain America style character. I love those characters in Marvel Comics, so, it is what it is. They needed a main character to kind of lead the whole multiverse angle and to be a central point. They picked Captain Carter, and that was their choice. Again, it was a slog to get through all 3 seasons of What If. Some of us trooped through it. Many of us didn't. Many Bothans were lost trying to finish What If. And I think a lot of people were also disappointed and gave up on it once we found out that the Captain Carter in Multiverse of Madness was not the same Captain Carter from What If. That just took a lot of people out of it. So lo and behold, we just recently got the cast reveal for Avengers Doomsday, and well, Captain Carter, Haley Atwell, was not part of the cast. But don't worry, as she is in the cast. As it was reported, at least I originally saw the news reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Haley Atwell is back for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, we don't know if she's playing Peggy Carter. We don't know if she's playing just normal Agent Carter. That's okay, so we got to kind of separate this. When people reference Peggy Carter, a lot of people are just referencing the older version that would be with Steve. So when she's retired from her action duties, when they reference Agent Carter, they're referencing her in her prime during her series and everything. And when they talk about Captain Carter, it's the multiverse variant. We don't know which version she will be playing. That much is not clear. Now, most people are just assuming it's going to be Captain Carter, which does make sense. And again, we're not talking about the version we saw in Multiverse of Madness, as that wasn't the What If version. Reports are suggesting she's going to play the What If version of the character. And that's the one that makes the most amount of sense and that I think works because of what they're doing with the whole multiverse angle, how they're tackling everything, and sort of, I guess, trying to right some wrongs, which they had, which were, selling us on What If being a major piece of the puzzle of the multiverse. You gotta watch it. These characters are gonna appear right ahead of What If. We're getting Peggy Carter and those characters teased in Multiverse of Madness, and then lo and behold, none of that pays off. Chances are they're gonna do something with it here. Now, I think it's interesting to just take note of and pay attention to what's going on with them trying to course correct from Kang to Doctor Doom. They literally seem to be trying to do anything and everything they can to make all the fanboys and people constantly complaining happy. Now, this doesn't always work. It certainly didn't work for Disney in regards to anything Star Wars. There's always complaints and that they ruined it. So is this going to work? Because people are already sick of Agent Carter. People just don't like that character. And I honestly think that if done right, if you establish that this is the what if variant, if you establish that people should care, if you give her enough time to do stuff, if you make her a competent leader and somebody that is presented in a well-mannered way that works and sticks to the character that she is in What If, you're going to have people go, you know what, I like this character now. But what really made people not like her in What If was the fact that they needed a central character, and she ended up appearing in so many episodes and being the central point that it took away from What If. Like, a lot of people blame What If being bad on Captain Carter lead. But that's not it. What If is bad from its inception because What If is a concept that goes out there and does crazy stories, one-off stories that you don't expect, you know? Their What If was, hey, what if we serialize What If, and what if we go with the most basic, safest things we could do? And then what if we connect it all with one character and a through line, and that character is going to take the brunt of the hatred? And that's exactly what they did. It was mistakes that they made that were dumb, quite frankly. And I think they screwed up with it. If the messaging was clear from the beginning, hey guys, you're going to follow Captain Carter, and you're going to see how she assembles a team across the multiverse in multiple seasons, and this is going to pay off eventually, a lot of people would not have been surprised. You're not caught off guard then when you know who the main character is. But when they sell you half the series on, hey, check out these cool what if scenarios, only for Carter to be dropped into the middle of them and it becomes a Carter story, people feel lied to. Especially with a concept like What If, that you could do anything. Anything. And they're like, okay, what if? I hope you guys are following along. I hope you are, because you're not ready for this one. What if Star-Lord, right? You keeping with me? I know this is heavy stuff. What if Star-Lord stayed on Earth and wasn't abducted? Want to follow him in 9th grade while he goes on a school field trip to Boston? Isn't that cool, guys? Huh? No? Oh, okay. Well, sorry. That's what you got. Okay, I'm obviously exaggerating that episode, but literally half of What If is that. And Carter gets blamed on all of it because she's the star of the series. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.